My beloved child, this night is not like any other night. The light has withdrawn from the earth, and darkness has settled like a thick cloak, not a cloak of loneliness, but a veil I have drawn so that I might speak privately with your soul. You have walked through a long day carrying burdens. You cannot name words left unspoken, and fears you do not understand yet cannot shake. I have seen your shoulders tremble in the quiet. I have heard the sigh you tried to hide in the dark. That is why tonight I call you not out of sleep but out of restlessness, to lead you into a deeper rest, one not found in your body, but in your soul. Do not be afraid when I awaken you. Do not think I come to interrupt your peace. I come to restore your true peace. There are nights when I cannot find you in prayer, for I find you entangled in your own thoughts. You say you trust me, yet your fears speak louder than your faith. You say you surrender, yet your hands still clutch what you cannot control. You ask me to act, yet you do not leave room for me to move. My child, if you truly believe that I am the one who rules over time and destiny, then why do you stay awake through the night, as if the world would fall apart without you? I did not create you to bear the universe in my place. When you sleep, I still sustain creation. When you are weak, I remain almighty. When you are lost, I still know the way. So tonight I have come to tell you something I have waited along to say. Stop trying to live as a god and learn to rest as a child. Rest is not a reward for the perfect, it is a gift for the surrendered. When you release your grip, I begin to move. When you stop speaking, I begin to declare. When you cease striving, I begin to lift you. The whole world was designed to move in my rhythm, day for work, night for rest. If the sun knows when to stop at my command and the sea halts where I draw its boundary, then you made in my image must also learn to pause before me. You have run too long trying to hold everything together while your own strength slowly fades. I see you awake beneath the dim light eyes, fixed on nothing, your heart wandering through thoughts without names. You are searching for answers that only I can explain. My child, sometimes my answers do not come in thunder, but in the whisper that brushes against your spirit. I do not come in noise, but in stillness. Be still and let me speak. When I formed you, I placed within you the breath of life, not merely to make you exist, but to teach you to rest in me. Life is not an endless pursuit of doing, but a sacred rhythm of giving and letting go. The more you try to control, the more your soul tires. The more you try to understand, the more your mind tangles. But when you sit in quietness and simply whisper, "Father, I trust you," you accomplish more than 1,000 anxious efforts. I know you have faced many nights like this, when sleep will not come, though your eyes are closed, when worry seeps into every heartbeat, when the ticking of the clock sounds like the echo of your own chest. Yet you are not alone in the dark. I have been there beside your bed, placing an unseen hand upon your heart to keep it from breaking. I have counted every tear that fell, even the ones that never touched your pillow. Not one sigh of yours has escaped my notice. You think faith is always about fighting, but sometimes faith is about stopping. I do not need you to prove your love by exhausting yourself. I want you to trust me enough to sleep peacefully. When you rest, I work. When you stop worrying, I begin healing. When you are silent, I begin to speak. Let your faith be seen not in tension, but in stillness. As Abraham was tested when I told him to leave the land he knew, so I am inviting you to leave the safety of control. Abraham did not know the destination, but he knew the one who called. And I, the same one, am calling you now to leave the shore of anxiety and sail into the ocean of peace. You do not need to know every answer. You only need to know that my hand has never left yours. I see your fear of the unknown, your dread of losing control, of unexpected change, of a future that doesn't match your plan. But if you believe I am the Alpha and the Omega, what future could frighten you? Everything is already in my hand, long before your first breath. You are walking through a story I have written, and though you cannot yet understand this chapter, trust that its ending is still a blessing. Let me teach you to rest as an act of faith. When you stop, you declare that the world does not revolve around you. When you release, you proclaim that I am sovereign. When you grow quiet, you make space for me to act. This is the truest form of worship, not with words, but with trust. Tonight, as you hear these words, imagine me sitting beside you, not on a distant throne, but near with eyes full of compassion. I do not come to scold, but to invite. I do not ask why you are weak, for I already know how hard you've tried. I only say, my child, it is time to rest in me. I gave the universe the rhythm of seasons so that seeds might rest in the soil before they bloom. So too I give you these long nights, not as punishment, but as protection to hide you within my arms, where I work unseen, healing, renewing, and preparing you for the dawn. The seed does not fear the dark, for it knows that beneath the soil life is being formed. So do not fear when you cannot see the light, for it is in this very darkness that I am birthing something new within you. My beloved child, do not carry yesterday into tonight. The past no longer has authority over you. Let me wash your mind clean from the noise and residue of fear. Let your heart find rest in the rhythm of my heartbeat. My peace does not come from escaping the storm, but from knowing that I am in the boat with you. You cannot command the wind, but you can trust that I hold the rudder. You cannot foresee what tomorrow brings, but you can know the one who holds the future. And when this truth settles within you, sleep will return not as a biological reaction, but as an act of faith. Breathe deeply, release, and let your spirit align with my breath. Do not close your eyes just yet. Let me say this one thing more. You were not created to be weary. You were created to reflect my glory. And that glory shines brightest when your soul rests in me. Let this night be a new beginning, a turning point where you cease striving, stop fearing, stop forcing, and simply exist within my love. I am here. I have never left. You need not do anything to make me love you more. Just allow me to love you in my own way, gentle, patient, and complete. Then when dawn returns, you will awaken not with anxiety but with light. For tonight, you have learned what the world has forgotten. Rest is also a form of faith. My child, you once thought rest was a pause, but it is in fact a journey back to the source of life itself. When you learn to rest in me, you return to the first breath, to the moment I spoke and life began. From the beginning, I ordained the seventh day for rest, not because I was weary, but so you would understand that nothing is complete without resting in me. No work of mine is called finished until it bears the mark of peace, and likewise no life of yours can be whole until you pause in my embrace. The world teaches you to do more to be valued, to speak louder to be heard, to fight harder to hold your place. But I teach you that true strength is found in stillness. As a river reflects the sky most clearly when it is calm, so your soul reflects me best in quiet. What you seek cannot be found in the noise of activity, but in the stillness of surrender. It is not when you do more, but when you let go, that I can fill you. You often think that letting go means loss, but it is actually the beginning of freedom. When you release what you hold so tightly, you open your hands to receive what I have prepared. You cannot hold both fear and grace at once. Each hand can carry only one thing. So tell me, my beloved, will you keep clutching the weight of worry, or will you let me take it so that your hands may be free to worship? When you say I can't stop, I hear the exhaustion in your voice. You have believed for too long that your worth is measured by how much you accomplish. But my child, I have never measured you by your performance. I look at your heart, not your to-do list. When I see you stop, grow still, and trust that my promises remain true. That is, when you do something no human strength can imitate you, allow me to work through you. Look at Israel, my child. In the wilderness they feared that stopping would mean death. Yet I fed them with manna each day to teach them that survival does not depend on their pace, but on my faithfulness. Each morning I sent manna but forbade them to hoard it. Why? Because I wanted them to learn trust one day at a time. So it is with you. I do not want you to live by the stored-up fear of tomorrow, but by the daily trust of today. Do not gather anxiety for the next day, for I am already there. You say you are tired, but weariness does not come from work. It comes from doing what lies beyond faith's borders. When your soul enters the territory of control, exhaustion follows. But when you return to the land of trust, strength flows again like a spring. I do not need you to be the strongest. I need you to know when to stop. For in the moment you pause, you will hear what the noise has long drowned out, that I am still at work, even when you are silent. There will be seasons in your life that feel like winter, when everything seems to halt. You pray yet see no results. You sow yet see no growth. You wait yet sense no movement. And you think, I am silent. But in that season roots grow deep. Seeds are working in the dark. I do not need sunlight to fulfill my plans, for I am the light. In the same way, I do not need outward motion to prove that I am moving within you. Rest is not abandoning the journey. It is pausing to realign your direction. You cannot walk straight without stopping to listen. Many lose their way not because they lack strength, but because they refuse to pause. My child, stop long enough to hear my voice. For only in stillness will you discern what is true. I know there are moments when you fear that if you stop, everything will collapse. But have you not known I am the one holding all things together? When you cease struggling, I begin rebuilding. When you release fear, I begin restoring. Remember, rest is not surrendering defeat. It is returning control to its rightful owner, to me. I have seen your striving to please everyone, your race against time, your desperate need to keep things in order. But my child, control never brings peace. Only trust does. When you trust, you are saying, Father, I do not need to know everything. I only need to know you. And that alone will bring the peace the world cannot give. Sometimes to teach you rest, I allow your plans to stall. Not because I love you less, but because I am cutting the cords that tie you to the pace of the world. I close certain doors so that you have no choice but to sit and listen. That is not rejection, it is protection. I know you long to see results, but sometimes true results come, not when you do more, but when you finally stop. My beloved child, you have forgotten that I do not need your strength in order to act. I only need you weak enough for my power to be revealed. When you reach the end of yourself, you will find that my grace is sufficient. When you stop striving, you will see me drawing near. When you grow quiet, you will hear my whisper. My child, I am still here. Remember this, the soul was never created to live under constant tension. You were not designed to carry burdens beyond your control. You were made to trust, to love, to breathe in rhythm with me. So when weariness finds you, do not be ashamed. See it as my invitation. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 1:1-8. If I, the one who formed heaven and earth, chose to rest after 6 days of creation, who do you think can run endlessly without pause? Rest is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is your declaration that you trust me enough to stop running, know me enough to be still, and understand me enough to stop proving your worth. When you learn the sacred art of rest, you will witness the miracle that strength is renewed not through effort but through surrender. You will feel restless thoughts quiet down, vague fears replaced by clarity, and old wounds mending under the gentle light of grace. I do not merely want you to sleep better, I want you to live at peace. I do not only want you to stop for a moment, I want you to walk again with a new rhythm of breath, and that begins here tonight, in this silence, when you let everything go and listen to me. My child, what the world calls rest is only a physical pause, but the rest I speak of is the rebirth of your soul, the place where you are restored at the root, where my breath once again fills you, as in the beginning. When you rest in me, you are not just stopping, you are being reshaped. Each time you let go, I recreate. Each moment of stillness is a moment when I etch my holiness deeper into your heart. I have seen how you have been worn down by the expectations of others. I have watched you trade your peace for the sake of pleasing everyone around you. You have tried to keep the world happy, all the while losing the light within. You thought yourself strong because you kept standing, but really you were slowly breaking in silence. My child, that is not what I desire for you. I did not create you to be a cracked vessel filled with anxiety. I made you to be a temple of peace. A temple is not built in haste, but in quiet precision. It is not sustained by effort, but by presence. When you choose to rest in me, you allow me to rebuild the temple within you. The fractured stones will be mended, the fallen walls raised again, and light will stream in through the very cracks you once hid in shame. I am not ashamed of your cracks. On the contrary, they are where my light shines through. As gold is refined by fire, so your soul is refined through stillness. There are seasons when it feels as if everything within you is dissolving, but truly, it is only the old being stripped away to make room for the new. You are not losing, you are being reborn. I know there are nights when you feel lost in a desert of silence. Yet, my child, the desert is where I most often meet my people. In silence, you hear my voice clearly. In emptiness, you discover what truly remains. You remember Elijah, who fled in fear and hid in the wilderness. He expected me in the storm, in the earthquake, in the fire, but I was not in those things. I came in a gentle whisper, a tender breath. So too am I coming to you, not in chaos, but in calm. Let your heart grow quiet enough to hear that voice, soft as breath, yet powerful enough to still every fear. Rest is more than recovery. It is realignment. When I touch your spirit, I do more than heal your wounds. I recalibrate your heart to its true center, me. When you work without me, exhaustion follows. But when you work with me, there is ease. True rest does not begin when your work is finished. It begins when you realize that I am present in your work. There are things I ask you to release, not because they are evil, but because their time is over. You are carrying things that once were necessary, but have now become weights. Let me teach you the rhythm of seasons. As the tree must shed its leaves to bloom again, you too must let go so that new life can flow through you. Do not fear loss, you are only being renewed. Do not fear emptiness, I am making room for greater glory. Your soul cannot be renewed without rest. Just as the earth cannot bloom without winter, you need pauses for your roots of faith to grow deep. I know you long to see results. Miracles open doors, but miracles often begin in silence, like seeds sprouting in darkness, like life forming in the hidden womb, like dawn rising after a long night. I am working on what you cannot yet see. Stop demanding proof and start trusting presence. You do not need to see to know I am here. You do not need to believe I am working. I am the unseen hand that moves when all else is still. Once you understand this, your soul will no longer sway with emotion, but will stand firm in the truth that my love has never ceased. You say you want a life of purpose, but true purpose begins not with action, but with surrender. When you pause to listen, then I can speak. When you grow silent, then I can guide. No one can hear my voice while always speaking. No one can find direction while always running. So tonight, I do not ask you to understand, to plan, or to solve. I only ask you to sit down, breathe deeply, and know that I am God. You think silence is emptiness, but it is fullness. In silence, you will hear my heartbeat pulsing with yours. You will feel the river of life flow through your spirit. You will know that every cell within you is being renewed by my breath. In rest, I do the work your hands cannot, the work of restoration. I reset your mind, steady your heart, and untangle the knots of worry that you cannot loosen. Then you will see a quiet miracle unfold. The things that once disturbed you will lose their power. Memories that once weighed you down will grow light as morning mist. You will smile not because life is perfect, but because you know you are safe in my hands. You will sleep not because there is nothing left to do, but because you know I am still at work. You will live not because you control everything, but because you know I never lose control. Each day open your eyes in peace. Each night close them in gratitude. Let me be your first and final breath. Then you will learn that peace is not found in circumstances, but in communion with me. True rest is never apart from my presence. And when you live in me, no storm outside will shake you. You will become a bringer of peace amid chaos, a steady soul where others fall, a breath of grace in a weary world. That is the mark of one who has truly learned to rest in me, no longer reacting from fear, but moving from faith. This is the dawn of a new season. Do not underestimate this night, for in the moment you let go, heaven is moving. Seeds of life are being planted within you, and they will bloom in my perfect time. Let your soul learn to move slower, love deeper, trust firmer, and rest completely in my embrace. For that is how I renew you, not with thunderous miracles, but with the quiet power of my holy stillness. My beloved child, open your eyes, for dawn is rising. Not only the dawn of the earth, but the dawn of your soul. The dew resting on the silent field is proof enough that the night has passed. You no longer belong to the darkness. Out of what seemed ruined, I have kindled new life. From the ashes you thought would never breathe again, I am stirring the flame of my presence. You have endured the long night of silence, of waiting, of unanswered questions. Yet in that quiet space I have been at work. You could not see me, but I was weaving. You could not hear me, but I was speaking through stillness. You could not feel me, but I was wrapping you in my nearness. Now this dawn is merely the outward unveiling of what I have already completed within you through the night. As the sun needs no trumpet to rise, the life within you needs no validation from the world. Light does not wait for approval, it simply shines. And you, my beloved, are the same. You need no one's permission to radiate. I called your name out of the shadows and said, "Let there be light," and your soul answered with the heartbeat of peace. When you rested in me, I restored what you thought was lost. The fragments you once deemed worthless, I gathered and wove into beauty. You saw failure, I saw foundation. You saw an ending, I saw a beginning. As a seed must break before it sprouts, you too have passed through breaking to be reborn in me. Do not be ashamed of the cracks, they are where my light enters. Rise now from the bed of fear, from the darkness of doubt. The night has fulfilled its purpose. Now is the time to step into the light. You have learned how to rest now. Learn how to move in grace. Peace was never meant to make you still but whole. I did not awaken you to live as before, but to live as one newly born. Many awaken with the sun, yet still live in darkness, for darkness is not outside them. It dwells in hearts that have not believed. But you, my child, are different. You have let me illuminate you from within. My light asks for no conditions. It only requires an open heart, and you have opened yours. That is why this day is unlike any other before it. You once prayed that I would change your circumstances, but first I changed you. For if I had not, you would have rebuilt the old patterns even in new places. True transformation begins not around you, but within you. I did not merely desire to give you a new day. I desired to make you a new creation. When light enters, it reveals what was hidden, not to shame you, but to cleanse you. Just as morning dew highlights the footprints in the soil, so my light unveils what needs renewal. Fear not this revelation. Light does not come to condemn, but to heal. It comes so that you may see and thus be free. For whatever is brought into the light loses its power to bind. Remember, dawn never rushes. Light comes gradually, not to blind you, but to let you adjust to beauty. I work the same way within your soul. I do not thrust you into brilliance all at once. I lead you gently, step by step, for true grace never hurries, and perfect love never forces. There are wounds that will not vanish overnight, yet they begin to heal the moment you stop resisting. The morning does not destroy the night by violence, it simply shines, and the darkness retreats. In the same way, when you allow my light to dwell in you, fear, old habits, and anxious thoughts will fade away. You need not fight them, just make room for me. When I said, "Be still, and know that I am God," it was not merely a call to pause, it was a declaration of my sovereignty. Once you truly know this, striving ceases. You live in the freedom of a child who understands that everything rests safely in the Father's hands. The light I give is not only to guide your steps, but to make you a lamp for others. The dawn of your soul is never meant to end in yourself, it must spread. You will carry this light into dark places, not through many words, but through presence. Others will sense peace in your eyes, for they will recognize my imprint there. You will speak less, yet every word will carry weight. You will do less, yet every act will bear meaning, for you have been soaked in my light. Let this light become your daily rhythm, my child. Do not seek me only in the nights of crisis. Seek me in the mornings of calm. Speak with me when you need nothing. Thank me before miracles appear. Love me not for outcomes, but for presence itself. That is how my light within you will endure, not anchored to circumstance, but sustained by communion. Just as the sun rises without command, do not wait for perfection to begin. You are already chosen, already called, already positioned. The light I placed in you will never go out unless you hide it beneath fear. Do not conceal it. Do not shrink back. Be the lamp upon the hill. Let your life testify that I am still at work within humankind. Remember, the morning light is not merely the start of another day. It is the reminder that darkness never wins. No matter how long the night, no matter how deep the silence, light always returns, for I never break my promise. Every sunrise declares that my mercies are new every morning. You do not live on yesterday's perfection, but on today's compassion. My beloved child, when you step out of the night, do not rush. Move slowly, breathe deeply, and let my light stream through every fiber of your soul. Let each breath you draw in be a prayer of gratitude, and each breath you release be an act of surrender. You no longer need to carry the fears of yesterday, for this light is enough to burn away every remnant of anxiety. This is a new day, not because the sun has risen, but because you have awakened. You have been touched by my light, and from this moment you will never walk as you once did. You now bear the mark of the sacred dawn, where darkness bows before peace and fear dissolves in the breath of my spirit. Beloved, when I said, "Let there be light," I was not only speaking to the universe, but to your soul. Within you burns a flame not of human origin, but divine. It is the spark I breathed into you at creation, and it has never gone out, though you once thought it had. It was only hidden beneath fear, pain, and the ashes of doubt. But now, after the long night of silence, I am breathing upon it again, reviving the fire of my presence within you. You once tried to do everything in your own strength, and the flame dimmed. You once believed you had to keep yourself burning, and you grew weary. But my child, this fire does not survive by effort. It thrives by communion. When you draw near to me, you shine. When you drift away, the light weakens, not because I take it, but because you hide it. The light never disappears. Simply turn toward me, and it will blaze anew. You are the small lamp I have set upon a hill. Your light does not compete, does not shout, does not demand recognition, yet wherever it shines, darkness must retreat. This is your calling. Do not underestimate it. While you see yourself as ordinary, I see one chosen to carry warmth into a world growing cold. Light cannot burn without oil, and that oil does not come from fame or striving, it flows from intimacy with me. Each moment you come before me in humility, you pour oil into your lamp. Every silent prayer is a drop of oil. Every quiet act of kindness is a drop of oil. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, Another drop fills your lamp. Do not let it run dry, for the world grows darker, and I need your light brighter than ever. You once asked me, Lord, am I truly chosen? And I say to you, yes, you are. Not because you are flawless, but because you have been refined through fire. Not because you are strong, but because you have learned to kneel. Not because you have everything, but because you lost everything and still chose to believe. I did not choose you for your brilliance. I chose you for your surrender. I do not need a blaze that flares and fades. I need a steady flame that endures through every season. Look back at what I have done in your darkest hours. When you thought I was absent, I was preparing you. When you believed it was over, I was writing a new beginning. When you had no words left, I was speaking through your silence. Now the flame I guarded through your tears begins to rise. You will feel it like warmth in your chest, like life awakening in your veins. This is not emotion, it is resurrection. This fire will not only warm you, it will spread. Those who come near you will sense something different, not because you try to appear holy, but because I live within you. They will feel peace in your tone, find hope in your eyes, and encounter love in your presence. You need not persuade, you need only be. True light does not debate with darkness, it simply shines and darkness retreats. Know this, your light will be tested, not to destroy it, but to prove it. The wind does not come to extinguish the flame, but to strengthen it. The trials you face are not punishment, they are refinement, so that the light within you may burn pure, free of the smoke of pride. As gold is melted to reveal its radiance, so your soul is shaped by love's fire, until my glory shines through unclouded. Do not fear being misunderstood. Do not despair when the world overlooks you. True light does not need an audience. It exists to bear witness to truth, not to earn applause. When you keep your flame burning faithfully in the night, heaven takes note. Every moment you choose faith over doubt, love over bitterness, patience over despair, you are fueling your mission. There will be moments when your light feels small and fragile, as if one gust could snuff it out. But fear not, my child, I am the keeper of your flame. No wind can extinguish what I have ignited. I am the living fire within you. If you fall, I will breathe again. If you wander, I will call your name in the night. Your light does not depend on circumstance. It depends on me, and I never change. Guard this flame. Do not let bitter words cool it. Do not let fear dim it. Do not let old habits cover what is newly lit. You cannot carry light into the dark if you let the dark reclaim you. Keep your heart pure, for it is the vessel of your flame. A clear heart allows light to shine without obstruction. I am teaching you how to walk in light without pride to shine, without self-display. You do not need perfection to be useful to me. You need faithfulness. I do not require torches of glory. I seek true light. A humble candle can guide the lost, while a proud blaze consumes itself. Let your light be gentle, yet unyielding. Do not shine to be seen, shine to guide. Light never asks darkness for permission, it simply appears. In the same way, you do not need the world's approval to do what I have called you to do. You do not need to be understood, only to be steadfast. You do not need to be praised, only to be genuine. When you do what is right, light itself will defend you. I will bring hidden things to light, and in due time I will vindicate you. Now understand this deeper truth. The light within you is not only to shine outward, it is also to illuminate inward. You will see yourself more clearly, the places I want you to release, the wounds I long to heal. My light does not come only to make you a guide to others, but to make you a soul renewed daily. If your inner flame is not nurtured, it will fade. But when you keep returning to me, you will always burn bright, even in the thickest night. Do not trade this light for anything, not for comfort, not for compromise, not for praise. This fire is not of the world, it is heaven's signature upon you. Guard it, and you will walk in a power the world cannot comprehend, for light is never conquered. Let last night belong to the past, and let this morning testify that I have made you new. The flame within you is no longer a flicker of survival. It is the sign of destiny awakening. You are no longer who you were, my child. You are the light I have kindled in a world grown cold. My beloved, the light I have placed in you is not only to warm you, but to guide those who are lost. This flame is not for keeping, it is for sharing. It is not your possession, but my testimony within you. As you walk among the world, every step you take will leave traces of light, not because you intend it, but because you belong to me. Others may never understand why the atmosphere softens when you enter a room, why their hearts stir when they hear your voice. But I know, because it is I who speak through you. My beloved child, light only fulfills its purpose when it enters the darkness. Just as a lamp is not hidden beneath a basket but placed high to give light to everyone in the house, so too must your light be seen through your actions, your words, and your heart. Do not fear the dark. Darkness has no authority over light. It is merely the absence of it. Every time you step into a place, I step in with you. Therefore, do not shy away from chaos, and do not shrink back from broken souls. I have prepared you for such places. I have given you light not only to guide, but to heal. There are hearts so shattered that a single word of grace from your lips can reignite their hope. There are lives drowning in despair, and your peaceful presence will remind them that I am still real. You will not need to speak much, for light needs no defense. It only needs to shine. The brilliance of your light will not be measured by how loudly you speak, but by the frequency of your love. When you love in truth, I am revealed. When you forgive in silence, I am exalted. When you live gently in a world of striving, I am seen. Do not think your light is too small to make a difference. Even a single candle can dispel the darkness in a closed room. Sometimes one small act is enough to alter an entire life. When you choose compassion instead of criticism, when you listen instead of judge, when you intercede instead of condemn, you are shining. Do not wait for a grand stage or a crowd. True light needs no audience. It only needs a willing heart. Remember, light carries responsibility. The brighter it shines, the more visible it becomes. The more visible it is, the more it will be tested. True light will always be challenged by darkness, not because it is weak, but because it is powerful. As you walk into your calling, voices will rise to sow doubt. Some will misunderstand you, others may oppose you. Do not lose heart. The enemy never attacks what lacks value. Resistance is proof that your light is causing movement. I do not promise you an easy path, but I promise my presence on it. As I walked with Moses through the wilderness, with David through the valley, with Joseph in the prison, so I will walk with you through every step of your journey. When you feel alone, remember, the light within you is never solitary. I am there. The light I placed in you not only illuminates others, but also guides your own steps, keeping you from losing your way in dark days. True readiness does not come before obedience, but after it. Abraham did not wait for a map to begin. He went because he trusted me. So too you need not know the full path, only my voice. When I say go, then go. When I say speak, then speak. When I whisper, wait, then stand firm. For light does not choose its moment to shine, it responds to its source. Your mission is not to save the world that is mine. Your mission is to reflect me within the portion of the world where I have placed you. Do not compare your light with another's. Some lamps are set in cities, others in valleys. Some illuminate multitudes, others light the way for a single soul. Yet all light is precious in my sight, for all come from one source, me. Do not let envy dim your light. Do not let insecurity hide it. You were designed differently to illuminate a unique corner of creation. Be faithful with the ground I have entrusted to you. Whether you care for one soul or reach thousands, what matters is not scale but faithfulness. When you live true to what I have called you to, you are fulfilling your part in the eternal design. One day you will look back and see that every quiet act was a link in a greater miracle. The word of comfort you offered today may become the seed of faith in a future generation. The tear you shed for another may flow into a river of grace in their life. Nothing done in my light is ever wasted. Every sacrifice, every intercession, every silent night you wept for someone else I remember. When you walk in light, you bring life. Light does not only cast out shadows, it awakens growth. Flowers bloom only in light. Seeds rise only when the sun appears. Likewise, there are souls around you that will begin to sprout simply because you are near. They may not know why hope begins to stir within them, but you will know it is I using you as a ray of awakening. Do not fear loss when you live for the light. Everything you give in love I will return in ways beyond imagining. When you give, your light does not lessen, it multiplies. When you forgive, you are not weakened, you are freed. When you serve, you are not lowered, you are lifted in my glory. This is the paradox of light. It empties itself, yet never runs out. It gives away, yet never grows dim. I am sending you not to be admired, but to be used. Not to be known, but to make my name known. Not to bring honor to yourself, but to honor your Father in heaven. And as you walk in this calling, I will give you strength to withstand the pressure, wisdom to speak the right words, and tenderness to love even those who do not love you. Remember, light needs no proof. It only needs to exist. So let your life be the evidence. When you love amid hatred, that is proof. When you remain calm in the storm, that is proof. When you stand firm amid doubt, that is proof. And when you forgive amid betrayal, that is proof. Proof that the light within you is real, that you belong to me. The time of hiding has ended. The long night is past, and the dawn of your mission has arrived. I am sending you not in the strength of man, but in the fire of the Spirit. You will speak what I place in your mouth, do what I put in your hands, and love with the heart I have placed within you. Go, for your light is not your own. It belongs to a world still searching for hope. My beloved child, every light must pass through fire. No lamp is proven true until it has stood against the wind. So it is with the light within you. It must be tested, not to extinguish you, but to prove that the flame you carry comes from me and not from your own strength. Do not fear when storms arise, for I do not send you into battle alone. The light I have placed in you will not be snuffed out. It will burn brighter as the darkness deepens. You have been sent, and now the world will begin to respond. Some will welcome you as warmth in the winter, but others will turn away, for light exposes what they wish to hide. Do not be surprised when you are misunderstood, when your words are twisted, when those who once smiled at you turn their backs. Darkness is never still when light draws near. Yet, my child, do not let your heart grow hard. Do not answer bitterness with bitterness. If resentment takes root in your soul, the light within you will lose its purity. I know there will be nights when you sit in silence and whisper, "Lord, am I doing what is right?" when everything seems against me. In those moments I gaze upon you with pride, not because you have conquered, but because you still choose to stand in light while surrounded by shadows. It is in those hours of testing that your light shines most clearly. You need not be known by many. It is enough that I see you. Remember what I told my disciples, you are the light of the world. Yet I also said, a city set on a hill cannot be hidden. When light cannot be hidden, it also cannot escape being seen, judged, or opposed. But do not dim yourself to be comfortable. Light is not born to please. It is born to transform. And transformation always invites resistance. When hardship comes, do not assume it means I have withdrawn. In truth, it is the sign that I am near. The enemy does not target empty vessels. He pursues those carrying the seeds of glory. If you are under attack, it is because you hold something that threatens the darkness. Hold your lamp steady, though the wind blows hard. Do not fix your eyes on the storm, fix them on me. Some will question you not because you are wrong, but because you mirror what they are not yet ready to face. Light does not condemn, but it reveals. And you must learn to love even those who fear your light. Do not retreat because of pain. I did not call you to be liked. I called you to obey. You do not need human approval when heaven has already affirmed you. Do not be surprised if the trials come from unexpected places, not from enemies, but from those you once trusted. The light in you will make others see the shadows in themselves, and they may resist what they are not ready to surrender. But be patient. Your love will outlast misunderstanding. Do not argue. Answer with gentleness. The peace you hold in the storm will testify that I am within you. Like Daniel in the lion's den, you will find there are places I will not deliver you out of, but will strengthen you within. I do not always calm the wind. I teach you to stand. I do not always quench the fire. I make you flame-proof. Do not ask me to remove every trial. Ask me for strength to remain faithful in it. When betrayal comes, guard your light from bitterness. I know the sting of betrayal. Do you think I do not understand? Your Jesus was abandoned by the very ones he loved most. Yet he did not close his heart, for he knew love is the only fire darkness cannot extinguish. So too, my child, do not let sorrow make you forget your purpose. When you forgive, you shield the flame from the ashes of hatred. The test of light is not to keep shining when everyone applauds, but to keep shining when no one believes. When you love amid misunderstanding, when you intercede for those who wound you, when you keep believing though no sign remains, that is when your light becomes real. I measure not your faith by words, but by your strength to stand in silence. I have seen your prayers whispered through tears. I have heard you say, Lord, I have no strength left. And I answered with silence, not abandonment, but empowerment. In that silence I gave you what words could not endurance. You think yourself weak, but you are being forged. Like steel in the furnace, your soul is being shaped for endurance. You will feel lonely at times, but solitude is not abandonment. It is the place where my voice becomes clearest. When all others fade away, I can finally whisper. When every source dries up, you discover that I alone never run dry. When you are pushed out of comfort, it is not rejection, it is calling. Remember, the enemy cannot extinguish a light born of me. He can only tempt you to doubt it. If he can make you believe your light is gone, you will hide it yourself. But my child, my light does not depend on feelings. Whether weary or wounded, I remain in you. I never withdraw my breath from what I have given life. Rise, wipe your tears, and walk on. Each time you stand again, your light grows stronger. Do not seek comfort, seek truth. Do not look for the easiest path, seek the right one. Light does not choose the easy road, it chooses the necessary one. When I lead you through fire, it is not punishment, it is refinement. No gold gleams until it has passed through flame. No soul matures until it has learned to wait. When you emerge, your light will no longer be a flicker but a beacon. Others will find direction because of you, one who once feared, once fell, yet still believed. They will see that light does not belong to the mighty, but to the surrendered. I am with you in every trial. Do not ask me to remove you from the fire. Ask me to dwell with you in it. For I am the one who walks in flames, yet is not burned, the one who treads on water yet does not sink. If I live within you, no trial can drown you. Stand firm, my little light. The world may watch, but heaven rejoices. My beloved, fire is not your enemy, it is your teacher. It does not come to destroy, but to reveal your worth. Fire does not consume, it refines. Just as gold must pass through the furnace to separate from its impurities, so your soul must endure testing to reveal what is most precious, your genuine faith. Do not fear the flame, for I am within it beside you. No fire is allowed to touch you beyond what I have ordained. My child, you once asked me for strength, and this is my answer. Strength does not grow in peace, but in fire. You prayed for patience, and here is the path. Patience is not born when everything goes well, but when you still trust amid waiting. You asked me to deepen your faith, and I allowed the winds to rise, not to drown you, but to teach you that true faith does not depend on circumstances. Faithfulness is not proven when surrounded by brilliance, but when the only light left is a flicker of hope in the thick of night. It is when you do not understand, but still choose to trust, when you cannot see, but still choose to walk, when you cannot feel, but still choose to love. That is true faithfulness. To be faithful is not to keep your promise when it is easy, but to keep your heart steadfast when all things are tested. I know there are moments when you whisper, "Why, Lord? Why must the fire burn so fiercely?" And I tell you this, I did not send fire to destroy you, but to shape you. I do not want you merely to survive, I want you refined. As iron forged in flame becomes stronger, so too will you. Each season of trial you endure makes you tougher, wiser, and more like me. Do not measure my love by the ease of your life. My true love does not keep you from the fire, it walks beside you in it. If I was with the 3 young men in the furnace of Babylon, then surely I am with you now. When they were thrown into the flames, their clothes were not burned, their hair was untouched, and the ropes that bound them were the only things consumed. So it is with you, my child. The fire has not come to harm you, but to burn away what has held you captive. There are things within you that can only fall away in flame: pride, fear, self-reliance, control. Do not mourn what is being stripped from you, for those were only layers. Beneath the ashes lies the pure gold I seek. Faithfulness in fire does not mean you feel no pain, it means you do not run. Even when you tremble, as long as you remain standing, I call it faith. When you weep in my hands, yet still whisper, "I trust you," that is the purest form of worship. When you remain silent, instead of resentful, that is the highest praise. The world teaches you to flee from suffering, but I teach you to walk through it with me. For in suffering I reveal myself most deeply. When you are happy, you know me as the giver of blessings. But when you endure, you know me as the God who stays. It is in the fire that you discover grace is not comfort. It is the quiet strength that keeps you from falling. Do not fear if the fire lingers. I never allow a trial longer than necessary. When its purpose is fulfilled, I will command it to cease. As the refiner watches the metal until he sees his own reflection, so I watch you until I see my image mirrored in your soul. When that moment comes, I will say, "It is finished." My child, some will leave you during the fire, they cannot bear the heat. Do not chase after them. Fire not only refines you, it reveals who truly stands with you. Loneliness in the fire is not a curse, it is protection. In that stillness you will learn who your true source of strength is, not people but me. You once thought I wanted you to be strong, but what I desire first is your faithfulness. For strength without faithfulness breeds pride, but faithfulness amid weakness births glory. When you remain faithful in fire, I can entrust you with greater light. Those who have not passed through the flame cannot carry it. I am training you to carry fire, not the fire of anger, but the fire of holiness. Do not be ashamed when you tremble. I do not seek fearless souls, I seek those who fear yet still stand. True faith is not the absence of fear. It is walking forward despite it. When you step into the fire and say, "I know my Father is here," the flames themselves must bow. For no fire can consume the place where I dwell. Remember, fire does not only burn, it illuminates. In the midst of trials, you will see what peace once hid. You will discern the worth of small things, the hearts of the true, and the power of grace. Fire teaches you to distinguish between what is temporary and what is eternal. It reveals that not everything that glitters is gold, and not everything that glows dim is without purpose. I'm using the fire to prepare you for glory. As the blacksmith knows a blade is sharp only after enough heat, I too know how long you must remain in the furnace to be ready for your mission. Do not rush out before your time. If you leave too soon, you will remain soft. Let me finish my work. When I am done, you will not be the same. You will carry my breath, my power, and a light that cannot be quenched. Faithfulness is not a result, it is a journey. You do not need to prove yourself strong. You only need to refuse to give up. Keep your hand in mine even when you see nothing ahead. Step forward one moment at a time, for my light will show you enough to take the next step, even if it does not reveal the whole path. You will know the fire has completed its work when instead of fear you begin to give thanks, when your question, why, turns into, thank you for staying with me. Then you will realize the fire never took what was precious. It burned away what kept you from seeing me clearly. My child, faithfulness in fire is the greatest testimony of light. For in the midst of smoke, others will see a flame that does not die, and ask, how does it still burn? And you will say, because the one within me is greater than the fire around me. My beloved, look back, you have walked through fire, and yet you stand. Not by your strength, but by my hand that shielded you. You thought the fire came to destroy, but now you see it came to reveal. Beneath the ashes lies gold. Beneath the tears, strength. Beneath the pain, resurrection. You are no longer who you were. The fire did not take you. It restored you to your truest form, the image of me you once lost amidst the noise of the world. So my child, give thanks for the fire, for it has made your soul clear as crystal. Without trials, you would never know the endurance of faith. Without night, you would never cherish the dawn. Without tears, you would never learn the language of compassion. The fire has taught you what peace never could. It has taught you humility, empathy, and the sacred art of gratitude for every breath you take in my presence. My beloved child, you emerge from the furnace carrying the scent of fire, but it is no longer the odor of suffering, it is the fragrance of holiness. The marks upon you are not wounds to hide. They are seals of divine craftsmanship, proof that I have worked within you. The world sees scars, but heaven sees victory. What once bowed your head now becomes your crown. The tears once shed in solitude have been gathered by my hand and turned into the oil upon your forehead, declaring you set apart. After the fire, my child always sees a brighter light. Just as dawn follows the darkest night, true glory reveals itself only after the soul has melted and been remade. The fire has burned away every barrier between us, allowing grace to flow unhindered. Now you will see me with new clarity, hear me with new sensitivity, and feel my nearness as never before. No more walls of doubt, no more distance born of fear, only sacred union between your spirit and my spirit. When I permitted the fire, I already saw this moment when you would stand amid the ashes and realize you were never consumed, only illuminated. You thought the fire would take you, but it returned you to yourself, the person you were always meant to be. That is the mystery pain cannot grasp, and the world cannot explain. There exists a fire that does not kill but resurrects. Now you are renewed, no longer a victim of circumstance but a witness of grace. You no longer live by memory but by promise, no longer bowed by shame but lifted by the radiance of forgiveness. I no longer see you through the lens of failure. I see you through the light of redemption. Sin has been burned away in the fire of mercy, and from its midst you have risen pure, strong, and humble. The fire has not only changed you, it has opened your eyes. You see life differently now. You do not rush to judge because you have learned compassion. You do not boast in what you possess because you have known loss. You do not fear losing because you have discovered that only what is true survives the flame. You now love not from emotion but from wisdom, knowing that every soul fights battles unseen. You went through the fire not only for yourself but for others. I allowed your pain so you could comfort those in pain. I let you weep so you could wipe the tears of others. Every wound you carry has become a stream of healing oil. The people drawn to you are not by chance, they are sent, that through your story they might rise again. And when you speak, they will believe, because your voice carries the resonance of fire, a tone known only to those who have endured and yet remained radiant. I did not let the fire claim your life. I let it consume your old garments. Now you wear a new robe, not of fear, but of authority. You will no longer speak in weakness, but with divine weight. You will no longer beg in trembling, but declare in faith. You are no longer tested, you are entrusted. What you learned in pain has become your weapon. Every tear a sword, every desperate prayer a shield. You have been equipped without realizing it. Look around you. The ground beneath your feet is no longer barren ash, but fertile soil. What seemed to die in fire is sprouting anew. Seeds of faith once sown in tears are beginning to bloom. This is a new season, not of fear, but of glorious harvest. You will see the fulfillment of my word. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. And your smile now will not come from luck, but from triumph, the triumph of a light that no flame could extinguish. Do not see the fire as your past, see it as your genesis. Where the fire ended, light began to shine. I have placed within you a new song, the anthem of one who not only survived but was resurrected. When you sing among the ashes, heaven leans close to listen. When you say thank you, for the storm angels bow in reverence, for that melody belongs only to souls refined by holy fire. Now I declare to you, what you thought was the end is the beginning of glory. No loss is wasted in my hands. No sorrow is forgotten. Every tear in your fabric has been stitched with threads of gold. You once fell, but now you stand taller. You once bled, but now you love deeper. You once trembled, but now you trust. I have transformed you from one who suffered to one who heals, from one who trembled to one who carries flame, from one who sought peace to one who bestows it. Now you will not fear fire, for you know I dwell within it. So my child, step out of the flame, not with bitterness, but with gratitude. Do not ask, why did this happen? Ask, what has it taught me? For every scar is a sentence written in the language of my love. And when you tell your story, do not speak as one lamenting, but as one redeemed, so that others hearing will believe they too can be restored. The season of mourning is over. The ashes of yesterday are now trophies of triumph, not remnants of pain. You have passed through the fire, and I now call you into the light, not the pale glow of dawn, but the brilliance of day where the soul rises with me. Death has been swallowed up in victory, and the cry of sorrow has become a hymn of praise. I saw you fall, and I saw you rise. I heard your sobs in the night, and now I hear your song. It no longer carries the innocence of the untested, but the depth of one who has known pain, known flame, known me. You no longer sing because you are happy, you sing because you understand. You know every moment had purpose. You know faith is not built on promises but on experience. You know that when you thought all was lost, you were being shaped for glory. Resurrection of the soul does not come in an instant. It comes with every morning breath, with every new way you see the world, with every act of love, without fear, every step of trust, without proof. True resurrection is not stepping out of the tomb. It is walking forward with a renewed heart. You now carry that heart, softer yet stronger, gentler yet unshakable, humbler yet shining brighter than ever. You thought I led you into fire only to test, but I led you to create. The fire did not merely burn away, it melted you down so I could mold you again in my image. Now you beat with a heavenly rhythm. Every step you take is no longer driven by flesh, but guided by spirit. You have died with me, and now you live with me, not for yourself, but for the one who lives within you. What once burdened you no longer holds power. The fear that once silenced you has become the platform for your testimony. The wounds that once made you tremble have become the song of your victory. I have turned pain into pearl, failure into foundation, tears into rivers of blessing. For this is how I work. I do not create miracles from nothing, but from what seemed beyond saving. You are now living proof that fire does not destroy, it purifies. And as you share your story, others will believe that I am still performing wonders. You will not need to argue or persuade. You yourself are the evidence. You will not need to speak much. Your presence will preach. When you enter a room, peace will enter with you. When you speak, hope will reignite. For your words are no longer your own, they carry the breath of the Spirit. Remember, I did not resurrect you so you could live quietly, but so you could spread life. The peace I have given you is not to be hidden, but shared. I am entrusting you with a new mission, not to prove your strength, but to display my power through the weakness you once knew. You will meet others walking through their own fire, and you will recognize them by the same look that once filled your eyes. When that moment comes, you will not teach them with logic, but with compassion. You will not pull them out by force, but lift them gently with the same hand that once held you. My beloved child, I am turning your life into a river. It will flow across the barren fields of other souls, carrying the water of life. I will make your words stirring, your gaze healing, and your scars a lighthouse for others in the night. You no longer need to try to shine. You need only be present, for light has become your very nature. Always remember, resurrection is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new cycle, one in which you are sent, used and tested again, yet not as before. This time you will not walk on trembling feet, but with the steady steps of one who knows who walks beside them. You will not doubt when waves arise, for you know you are in the hands of the one who walks upon the water. You will not fear when the fire returns, for you know you have survived before. You will no longer ask why, but what must I learn here? True resurrection does not make you perfect, it makes you authentic. And I do not need your perfection. I desire your truth. I am not looking for a polished shell. I am seeking a living, responsive heart. So do not try to become someone else. Be yourself with your scars, your story, and the voice refined by fire. That true self is the instrument I long to use. I am breathing into you a new breath, the breath of grace, so that you will no longer speak from fear but from wisdom. I am giving you new eyes to see others, not through the lens of judgment, but through the lens of love. I am placing within you a new heart, one that trembles at another's pain, yet does not shatter because it is wrapped in my peace. You will see that everything I do has purpose. Not one of your tears has fallen in vain. Not one collapse has been forgotten. All are movements in a symphony where every minor key is finely woven into the melody of redemption. And when you look back, you will not ask, "Why did I have to endure that?" but will say, "Without it, I would not have known you so deeply." Your resurrection is not only a beginning for you, but for those I am about to send to you. I am opening a new door, not to flee the past, but to step into the future of your calling. This door does not lead to a throne, but to a pasture, not to your glory, but to mine. You will go forth not with empty hands, but with hands filled with blessing. You will speak not from pain, but from healing. You will love not to be filled, but to pour out. My beloved, you once thought peace was the silence after the storm, the quiet when nothing is shaking. But I say to you, true peace does not arrive after the storm, it dwells within it. Peace is not the product of circumstance, it is my nature. When you abide in me, you discover that peace is not merely a feeling, but a power, the power to hold the soul steady in the world's whirlwinds, the power to still the wind with a word, the power to keep you standing where others fall. The world seeks peace by running away. I give peace by showing up. My peace does not come by removing problems, but by being present in the midst of them. Therefore, you need not wait for calm to rest. You may rest while the waves still rise, because I, the one who commands them to cease, is in your boat. Peace is a weapon. It is not fragile, not feeble as many suppose. It is an invisible armor the enemy cannot penetrate. When peace rules within you, no power can lay hold of you. The enemy preys on panic, for fear is the open door to darkness. But when you stand in peace, you stand in authority. Your stillness strips him of his claim. You once thought that battle meant shouting, thrashing, and striving by force. I teach you that true strength lies in the quiet of trust. When Jesus slept in the storm, he was not careless. He was revealing a spiritual law. When you know who holds command, you can sleep through the waves. He needed a few words only. Be still, and creation obeyed. My child, you carry that same authority. When you speak from peace, heaven and earth give heed. When you act from peace, the unseen realm trembles. Peace is not the prize of those who avoid the fight. It is the armor of those who surrender the outcome. When you place everything in my hands, peace overflows. When you grasp for control, peace departs, for peace dwells only where there is yieldedness. It does not live in a calculating mind, but in a trusting heart. Release what you do not understand. I do not need your comprehension to act. I desire your trust. Guard your peace as a soldier guards his blade. Do not let slander, delay, or old disappointments steal the stillness of your soul. When you feel a storm rising within, pause and breathe. The air you draw is the breath I give. Remember, you are not a victim of emotion, but one led by my spirit. You have the right to speak to your own heart. Be still, God is here. True peace is not passivity. It is not the silence of surrender, but the steadiness of those who know they have already overcome. When you stand unshaken amid chaos, you declare that your faith is greater than your circumstance, and in that moment you become a dwelling place for my presence. I give you peace not to hoard, but to carry into the places still in turmoil. Peace is a language the world has forgotten. When you enter a room tight with tension, you need not speak. Your presence shifts the atmosphere. When you forgive, instead of reacting, you rewrite the air around you. When you smile under misunderstanding, you plant the seeds of heaven. A bearer of peace is one entrusted with great responsibility. Wherever you go, there will be change. Souls in distress will seek you not because they know your name, but because they sense the calm you carry. I will use your peace like a gentle wind to heal others. They will find me through your eyes, your voice, and the composure you bear in a restless world. Peace is the signature of those who are mine. Many things can be imitated: kindness, knowledge, even a show of faith, but peace cannot be faked. It can only flow from its true source, me. If you wish to know who walks in true light, look for peace. So it will be with you. The world will recognize you, not by your words, but by the quiet within your soul. Let peace become your rhythm. Do not be dragged by the world's frantic pace. Walk slowly, not because you are weak, but because you are wise. Listen before you speak, observe before you react, pray before you act. In all things, seek the stillness of my spirit first, and then move. For I am not in the clamor nor in the tempest, but in the gentle whisper. I do not give peace as the world gives. The world offers moments of quiet and then takes them back. My peace does not depend on anything outside you. It flows from within, from the very place where I dwell. So do not search for peace in people, success, or favorable conditions. Look up, and I will pour peace like a tranquil river, filling your heart to the brim. As you learn to live in peace, you will learn to reign with me. Peace is the throne of the wise. It lets you see what others miss. When they act from fear, you will act from faith. When they rush to speak, you will listen. When they lose themselves in confusion, you will find yourself again in my presence. My beloved child, remember, this peace does not mean the absence of battle. It means you know who fights for you. You do not have to control every outcome, for I already hold the outcome in my hand. You need only to do your part with faithfulness and leave the rest to me. That is true freedom, the freedom from carrying the weight of being your own savior. Do not let fear decide your steps. Do not let anger shape your words. Do not let worry occupy the space where I long to dwell. Each morning as you rise, whisper, Lord, keep my mind in your peace, and I promise I will do it. Peace is not only a reward, it is a responsibility. When I give you peace, I am trusting you to guard it and to share it. You are a carrier of heaven's atmosphere on earth. Wherever you go, whatever you face, be the one who changes the air. When others lose composure, be the calm voice. When many doubt, be the breath of faith. When the world rushes, walk steadily, knowing you are not in a race but on a journey with the Eternal One. Peace does not make you small, my child, it makes you great. For only those truly strong can choose stillness in chaos, and only those who truly trust can smile before the outcome is seen. Walk in peace, and you will see miracles blossom around you. For peace is not merely a state, it is the environment in which my power moves. When you hold your peace, I can act through you most mightily. And wherever you carry peace, heaven follows. My beloved, the peace I give is not meant to be hidden in quiet chambers, but to be carried into the noise of life. Peace was never made for escape, but for conquest. It is not the prize of those who withdraw, but the crown of those who are sent. Now I declare your peace has matured, and I am sending you into the world as a seed of stillness in a field of chaos. You are not sent to find refuge, you are sent to become refuge. When others tremble in fear, you will be the breath of heaven they find. When the world shakes, you will stand as a mountain. When you open your mouth, your words will carry the echo of stillness forged in fire. I have taught you how to keep peace. Now I send you to bring it. This world does not need more voices talking about peace. It needs souls who embody it. Words can touch the mind, but presence transforms the soul. When you step into a room, remember, heaven walks with you. Speak little, love much. Listen more than you judge. Be living proof that whoever abides in me cannot be shaken. When you go, do not fear if the world does not understand you. Your light may unsettle them and your peace may expose what they lack. But do not lose your rhythm. You are not sent to be accepted, but to sow. A seed does not choose the soil, it simply obeys and grows. So too, you must simply sow peace and leave the rest to me. Some places you enter will not welcome you. They may test you, mock you, even resist you. Yet do not fear, for your peace is a spear of light that pierces deep into the soul. They may not realize it, but after you depart, the seed will crack open in silence. You may not see every harvest, but I see it. No act done in peace is ever wasted. Peace is a living river. It cannot be hoarded. When you give it away, it does not diminish. It multiplies. When you comfort others, you too are comforted. When you bring stillness to turmoil, you yourself are renewed. This is the rhythm of grace, giving and receiving, endlessly flowing in my heartbeat. My child, walk as a messenger of heaven's message. When you smile amid injustice, you declare, I trust the righteousness of the one upon the throne. When you refuse anger, you prove that true strength makes no noise. When you pray for those who wound you, you defeat darkness without a sword. For your weapon is not of flesh, but of spirit. I send you as a dove among wolves, not to be harmed, but to prove that light is stronger than shadow, and love is higher than hate. You will not carry a banner of conquest, but a branch of olive, symbol of reconciliation. I do not need you to win by argument. I ask you to triumph by presence. Let kindness speak louder than reasoning. True peace has greater authority than thunder. It does not boast, yet it shakes the unseen. When you sit beside the broken without a word, I will speak through you. When you stay silent in conflict, I will whisper to hearts. When you pray quietly for the unloving, I will move the heavens. Never underestimate the power of the small. Peace does not need noise to make an impact. Beloved, you have been sent not as a herald of war, but as an ambassador of the kingdom of peace. I have engraved your name upon my palm, and wherever you go, I go with you. When you speak, your words will carry the fragrance of heaven. When you are silent, your presence will melt the walls that divide hearts. Your peace will break chains that force cannot cut and heal wounds that reason cannot reach. Go, my child, walk in peace, breathe peace, be peace. For through you I will calm the storms of men's hearts and make the world remember the stillness of heaven once more. My beloved child, I have not sent you to change the whole world in a single day, but to plant small seeds of peace everywhere you go. A kind word, a compassionate glance, a patient gesture, these are the seeds that will grow into trees of life. And one day when you look back, you will see that an entire garden has blossomed around you without your knowing. Always remember, peace is not a passive state. It is power at work in silence. When you forgive, you conquer. When you refuse to argue, you disarm the spear. When you choose to pray instead of resent, you open the gates of heaven upon the earth. This is the authority I have given you, not the kind that rules by might, but the one that transforms through gratitude and love. My child, when I send you, I do not send you alone. My peace will go before you, my grace will walk beside you, and my glory will follow behind you. Every place your foot touches will bear the imprint of my presence. Whether you stand in the noise of the city or the stillness of the wilderness, I am there. Whether you speak or remain silent, I speak through you. And those around you will sense something different. They will not know what to call it, but they will feel lighter, calmer, freer. You are the answer to prayers from people you have never met. They cry out for a sign of hope, and I am sending you. Do not doubt your worth, for I do not send the nameless, I send those marked by light. The peace within you is my message to the world, that light still triumphs, that love still lives, that I still reign. Go and do not fear. Walk through the world as one who carries the breath of heaven. Speak with the tone of peace. See through the eyes of love. Live as a flowing stream of grace. When you live this way, you will not need to perform miracles. You will be one. My beloved child, when the fire has settled and peace has taken deep root within your soul, I declare new life is rising in you. Not a life patched from what was old, but life born from the soil of sorrow, watered by tears, and illuminated by my glory. You are no longer the fragile sprout trembling beneath the storm, but the young tree reaching toward morning light. The life I give is not mere breath, it is meaning. It is not so you might merely survive the days, but that you might carry the pulse of heaven within you. Every cell, every heartbeat I have awakened with new music. You will see that what once frightened you now stirs gratitude, that the roads which once wounded you now stand as monuments of strength beneath your feet. I did not call you out of darkness just to have you stare at the light. I called you to live in it, to breathe, to move, to create, to bring life where death once reigned. You once feared losing, but now you will learn to give. You once feared weakness, but now you will know that my power is made perfect in it. You once thought life was the beating of the heart, but now you understand it is the rhythm of grace. Open your eyes, beloved. Where you thought there were only ashes, flowers are beginning to bloom. Relationships once shattered are being mended. Dreams once buried are sprouting again. Prayers once met with silence are being answered in ways you could not imagine. For I have never forgotten a single tear nor overlooked a single seed you sowed in faith. New life does not arrive with noise. It does not thunder. It breathes like a gentle wind. It does not boast, but grows quietly in every small choice to do what is right when no one sees, in every whispered prayer when no one listens. It is within those unseen moments that I rebuild the foundation of your soul. I give you a new heart, not closed by fear, but open to love and to share it. This heart will no longer beat with anxiety, but with peace. It will not seek recognition, but opportunity to love. And when you love, life will overflow from you, for love is the breath of life itself. I give you new eyes not to see the world through suspicion, but through hope. You will find beauty even in broken things. You will see potential in souls others call hopeless. I will teach you to see others as I see you, not by their failures, but by the light waiting to awaken within them. I give you new hands not to grasp, but to lift. Each time you reach out to help another, you open a door for me to act. Each time you soothe a weary heart, you become my hands upon the earth. And when you give, you do not lose, you multiply. For life cannot be hoarded, it must be released. I give you new feet, not wandering in fear, but walking firmly on the path I have set. You will no longer chase the noise of the world, but follow the voice of heaven. The way ahead will not always be smooth, but you will no longer dread the climb, for you know who steadies you. Every step you take will sow a trail of blessing, and every place you tread will become softer, warmer, because you have walked with me. When I breathe into you, I do not merely want you to inhale, I want you to sing. When I set light within you, I do not merely want you to shine, I want you to ignite. When I raise you from the grave, I do not merely want you to live, I want you to live with purpose. For a soul that lives without mission is only a shadow. Remember, new life cannot dwell in old vessels. You cannot pour new wine into worn skins. That is why I allowed you to break, so that I could make you new. Do not mourn what has left. It departed to make room for what is better. Old relationships, old habits, old patterns, they have fulfilled their purpose. Now it is time to live in a new rhythm, the rhythm of heaven pulsing within humanity. Understand this, my child, to live is not merely to exist, it is to create impact. Every word you speak, every act you take, every thought you nurture plants a seed, and that seed will grow into life or death. So choose to speak words that bring life, act in ways that bring blessing, and think thoughts that refresh the soul. That is how you sustain the life I have given you. My beloved child, do not be afraid when you see that you are no longer who you once were. I did not restore you to your old self, for I never repeat what is old. Everything I touch becomes new. You are not a repaired version of your past. You are a brand new creation. The world may not understand you, but heaven rejoices, for within you now flows the blood of resurrection, the current of victory, the life of eternity itself. This is your season of blooming. You were sown in suffering, but now you will reap in joy. You walked through the long night, but now you live in the dawn. You will begin to see my fingerprints in even the smallest things. A flower opening, a warm greeting, an ordinary miracle. For I am not only in the storm, I am in the gentle breeze. I am not only in the thunder, I am in the whisper. My child, this new life is not a reward for patience. It is proof of grace. You did not earn it. You received it. You do not have to cling to it. You simply open your hands and live it. Walk each day as one who knows they have been redeemed, loved, and sent. And as you live that way, I will cause everything around you to change. My beloved, the life I give you is not a flickering flame. It is an endless river. It flows ceaselessly from my throne through your soul and into the world. That river never runs dry, no matter how vast the desert around you. But for it to flow freely, your heart must remain unclogged, free of the sands of worry, the stones of bitterness, and the debris of fear. For the stream of life flows only through the heart that remains open, the will that aligns with mine, and the soul that still knows how to bow and listen. I did not place this spring within you only to refresh yourself. I placed it there to flow outward. Like a brook that does not keep its waters, you too must learn to pour out, for in giving you will be filled. The life I give does not operate by the world's logic, it multiplies as it flows. When you love, you receive greater love. When you forgive, you taste deeper freedom. When you give, you are given more. The river of life does not flow through resistance, but through surrender. Do not try to control it. Let it move through you as naturally as breath. When you dam it up with anxiety, pride, or anger, it grows murky. But when your heart stays soft, the water runs clear as crystal, reflecting my face within you. I am the source. You are the stream. The world is a thirsty field. Each time you pause to pray, you are returning to the source. Each time you forgive, you open a new channel. Each time you choose faith over doubt, you remove a stone blocking the current. And each time life flows again, stronger, deeper, wider. The life within you holds the power of resurrection. It can make dead things live again, cause the withered to blossom and the barren to bear fruit. When you speak my words, they will not fall empty. They will descend like rain, soaking dry, ground softening hearts, awakening hidden seeds. You may not see the results immediately, but trust the water flows beneath the surface, quiet, steady, unstoppable. I have given you this power, not for pride, but for partnership. Life is not yours. You are merely the vessel. Let me teach you to keep that vessel clear. Do not let resentment clog its path. Do not let harsh words poison the stream. Do not let fear freeze the flow. When your heart is pure, the current will move on its own, effortlessly. This water will also flow through the places where you were once wounded. It will seep into the cracks and heal them from within. I do not need your perfection to use you. I only need your willingness. For often it is through your very fractures that the water escapes to others. Do not be ashamed of where you were broken. They are proof of my miracle. My child, the life I give does more than revive your soul. It creates. When you speak words inspired by me, reality shifts. When you act in faith, the world around you moves. Everything you do in this life carries the mark of eternity. Do not underestimate the small things. A word of comfort, a forgiving glance, a gesture of love. Each can become the beginning of a new river of grace in another's heart. True life is not merely in breathing, it is in sharing breath. When you intercede, you breathe life into the weary. When you encourage, you open wells in the desert. When you praise me through pain, you summon rain into wastelands. Every act soaked in faith carries the power of rebirth. Guard this spring within you. Watch for what can pollute it. Negative speech, toxic thoughts, comparisons that steal your joy. Guard your mind as a watchman guards the temple, for that is where the source flows. Choose to read what uplifts, listen to what blesses, and speak about what brings life. As you feed your soul with light, the river will grow clearer, stronger, and more radiant than ever. I know there will be moments when you feel dry, as though the flow has stopped, but do not fear. The water has not disappeared. It has gone deeper, moving underground, preparing for a greater surge. Do not strive to make it flow again by effort. Simply kneel and let me refill you. When you rest in my presence, the spring revives itself. When I dwell in you, you do not just carry life, you are life. Your presence carries healing energy. Your prayers vibrate with the frequencies of heaven. Your eyes carry the light of hope. Every place you step becomes sanctified ground. Every person you touch feels my breath through yours. Keep yourself tender like moist soil. Do not let pain harden your heart, for water cannot penetrate stone. When you allow me to reach the deepest part of you, the water will rise with the greatest force. Do not fear emotion. Do not fear tears. They are signs that you are alive, that the river still runs. My child, I declare this. The stream within you will become a great river. At first, it was only a trickle winding through narrow valleys of loneliness and doubt. But as you keep walking in faith, it will widen and merge with others I am awakening. Together they will become an ocean of life, sweeping away sorrow, cleansing blindness, and reviving the dry lands of humanity. Remember, The river does not choose its path, the source directs it. So do not force life to flow according to your plan. Let me be the current, and you the riverbed. When you yield, the water will find its way. When you trust, it will never cease. And when you let me lead, you will never run dry. My beloved child, I call you the bearer of living waters. You will not only witness miracles, you will become one. Wherever you go, the thirsty will drink. The fallen will rise, and those dead in spirit will live again. For the water within you does not come from human wells, but from the eternal source. Go now, and let that water flow. Do not hold it back out of fear of running dry. I, the source himself, will pour into you each day, each hour, without ceasing. Let this river run through your words, your actions, and even your silence. For when others encounter you, I want them to feel the coolness of heaven upon their souls. Beloved, now that life has been restored and the waters have begun to flow, I declare it is time for you to step out and carry that life into the world. Not with loud proclamation, but with steady steps. Not with the power of the flesh, but with the authority of peace. For peace, when it comes from me, is not frail. It carries the power to create, to heal, to transform the very atmosphere it touches. I have poured my life into you, not for you to store it away, but that you might become a conduit. Just as a river cannot keep its water to itself, neither can you hold my peace and refuse to let it spread. When you walk, peace will walk with you. When you speak, peace will saturate your words. When you are silent, peace will still echo through the air. For my peace does not depend on circumstance. It is my very presence dwelling within you. I do not send you into comfortable places, but into dry and restless lands, places that crave life yet know not where to find it. There you will see people striving, competing, doubting, and losing their way. But you are not sent to argue. You are sent to carry heaven's stillness into their storm. When you sit beside the weary peace inn, you will speak. When you take the hand of the hopeless life within you will pass into them. When you pray quietly, the very atmosphere will shift. That is how peace works, gentle, yet irresistible. My child, peace is not the absence of the storm. It is the calm that stands unshaken within it. You will be sent into chaos to prove that true peace cannot be stolen. The world will look at you and ask, "Why are you not afraid?" And in that question I will be glorified. Remember this, your peace is the loudest testimony of my power. When you carry my peace, you carry the light of the kingdom. It will cause the darkness around you to tremble. Do not be surprised when hidden things are brought to light, when hardened hearts begin to soften, when locked doors open on their own. My peace does not compromise with darkness, it drives it out. Just as light does not need to fight the night, it merely appears and the night dissolves. So too, when you appear, the darkness will shudder, for it knows you do not walk alone. Peace is not just a feeling, it is a force. When you forgive, peace moves. When you love, peace opens the way. When you kneel to intercede for those who oppose you, peace establishes victory in the unseen realm. You do not need a sword for. Your prayer is sharper than any blade. You do not need to shout to prove the truth, for the peace within you already proves that you belong to me. Go, my child, as one with a sacred mission, not to prove yourself right, but to reveal that love triumphs over hatred. When you speak with kindness, you let me speak through you. When you endure loss without losing joy, heaven shines through you. When you refuse revenge, you defeat the true enemy, the one who sows division. Peace is the banner of the victorious, and you shall carry that banner through every valley of mankind. Do not think that peace makes you weak. On the contrary, peace is the strength of those who no longer need to prove themselves. When you know you belong to me, you have no need to compete. When you know you are loved, you have no need to seek approval. When you know you are protected, you have no need to answer every accusation. That is true freedom, the freedom from being swayed by the noise of the world. There will be places I send you only to be present. You will not need to do anything, only to be. For when you are there, I am there. When you stand in that place, the air shifts, the sky clears, hearts grow lighter. They will not understand it, but their souls will feel it. That is the radiance of peace. They will not need to see a miracle. They will become the miracle because you appeared. My child, your peace will become a river flowing through every life you touch. Some will need only a few drops, others an entire flood. Some will welcome it, others will resist. But do not concern yourself with their reaction. Keep flowing, for I am the one sustaining the current. Do not let rejection dry you up. Do not let misunderstanding close your heart. You are not the source, you are the stream. And as long as you remain open, the waters will never cease. My beloved child, I will place you among the wounded. I will send you to the barren lands where hope has withered. I will seat you beside souls who seem lifeless within, that through you they may see that life still breathes. When you smile, they will remember that joy is real. When you pray, they will feel again the peace they thought was gone. And when you love them, they will see me reflected in your eyes. Go not to conquer, but to comfort. Not to be admired, but to lift others. Not to be celebrated, but to sow quietly. For the bearer of peace does not need recognition, only presence. Peace is never loud, yet it carries the weight of eternity. It lingers long after you've gone in hearts that cannot forget, though they know not why. You are my answer to the cries of those who call out in the night. They do not know your name, but I have written it upon the blueprint of their deliverance. When you walk, angels will walk with you. When you speak, my spirit will place words upon your lips. When you reach out your hand, I will reach through you. And when you pray, heaven itself will open. Do not fear walking in silence, for within the quiet my voice resounds. Do not chase the crowd, for I work most powerfully in hidden places. Do not think that visibility is value. The greatest things are born unseen. Even a seed, buried deep in darkness, can transform an entire forest. I call you the bearer of the peace of life. You will walk through shadows, yet the light within you will not fade. You will encounter hearts drowning in grief, yet your peace will remain unshaken. You will hear words meant to wound, yet the living waters within you will stay pure, for you no longer live by emotion but by the Spirit. My beloved, this is the hour when the earth begins to sing again, the hour when the seeds you planted in the night awaken beneath the morning light of grace. The harvest has come not because of your effort, but because of my faithfulness. Every sorrow you wept over, every sacrifice you made, every tear you thought was wasted, has become a seed of glory. I have gathered them into golden bowls, and now I pour them back as ripe sheaves across the field of your destiny. The harvest does not arrive. Suddenly it rises like dawn, quietly, yet unstoppable. Even before you see it, I have caused roots to dig deep, seeds to break open, and life to stir beneath the soil. The years you thought were lost were hidden planting seasons. Now I open the heavens to show you that not one of your prayers was forgotten, not one act of love overlooked, not one tear that fell to the ground failed to bear fruit. Look around you. Doors once sealed are opening. Those who once dismissed you are drawn to the light in you. The gates that slammed shut are now gently swinging wide. For I, the Lord of the harvest, have spoken. It is time. My child, this is not merely a season of results. It is a season of glory. I give you not only the fruit of your labor, but the radiance of my presence, so that all may see and know that I am in you. I have watched you sow in silence, unrecognized, uncelebrated. I saw the nights you stayed awake praying for others while your own strength waned. I saw the times you chose forgiveness when you had every reason to resent. I saw you offer what was most precious just to keep your heart pure before me. And now I tell you, none of it was lost. I have kept it all within my heart, and today I return it to you in abundance. Do not see this harvest merely as a reward. It is a testimony that my word never returns void. Every act done in faith, no matter how small, was recorded in heaven. Every word spoken in trust, though unheard by men, became a seed in the unseen. Every faithful step you took in darkness left footprints on eternal soil. And now you will see flowers bloom where you once fell, and rivers flow from the deserts you once crossed. Prepare your heart, my child, for the harvest brings not only joy, it brings responsibility. When I pour blessings upon you, I do not fill you for your own fullness, but to make you an overflowing vessel. The glorious harvest is not for possession, but for distribution. You are the steward of blessing, not its owner. When you receive, learn to release. When you are exalted, bow deeper. When you are filled, let the flow continue outward. True blessing is not found in having much, but in knowing for whom you have it. When I give, I do not hand out trophies, I entrust tools. When I lift you up, it is not for height, but for reach. When I honor you before others, it is not so they bow before you, but that they may see me through you. The seeds of your past are now bursting into bloom. The words you once spoke in faith have become living testimonies. The tears you once shed in solitude have watered the field of destiny, and each blossom declares, "The Lord is faithful." My child, there is no sorrow I cannot turn to beauty, no loss I cannot redeem with purpose, no road you walked that I cannot make a path of blessing for another. Now is the time when my righteousness shall be revealed. I will restore what you thought was gone. I will resurrect the promises that seemed forgotten. I will fulfill what I spoke when you were too fragile to believe. Now you are ready, not because you are flawless, but because your heart has been made tender. What I once delayed will now accelerate. Doors once closed will open all at once. What was slow will hasten for your kairos. Your divine moment has come. As you enter this harvest, never forget who sent the rain. Do not forget the one who protected your seeds when the wind tried to steal them. Do not forget the nights of quiet prayer, for it was those whispers that summoned the clouds. And remember, as ripe wheat needs gentle hands, blessings too must be handled with love, lest the gift become a burden. The glorious harvest is not the end of faith, but the beginning of a new mission. You will no longer be only a seeker, but a distributor. No longer just a receiver, but a giver. No longer merely one who watches miracles, but one through whom miracles unfold. I will use you to water dry souls, and through your life my name will be glorified. Open your hands, your heart, and your eyes. Blessing will not come from one direction, but from the four winds. The heavens will open and grace will rain down like showers upon thirsty ground. Do not rush to gather, let me guide you one sheaf, one soul, one moment at a time. For I do not desire you to harvest much, but to harvest well. Keep gratitude alive in all things, for gratitude is the vessel that never empties. The more thankful you are, the more you will receive. The more you share, the more I will fill you. This glorious harvest is not just a season of abundance, it is the season of deeper communion between you and me. And in the joy of the harvest, you will hear my whisper, "This is the reward of faithfulness." Walk into this season with humble feet and a radiant heart. For this is not the end of your journey. It is the dawn of a new era, the season where your very life becomes the living proof that I, the Lord your God, am still faithful, still working, and still causing everything sown in tears to bloom in glory. My beloved child, the harvest you step into is not an ending, but the beginning of a radiant outpouring. The blessings you receive are not meant to rest in your hands. They are designed to move through you, touching lives, awakening hope, carrying heaven into the valleys of the earth. You are the conduit, the riverbed of heaven's current, the channel through which light escapes the shadows. I do not fill you to contain, I fill you to overflow. I have given you much, not to make you great, but to make you living proof that I am great. As the blessings flow through you, Others will no longer be able to deny that an unseen hand is at work. They will no longer see you as the fragile soul they once knew, but as one who bears the reflection of glory in your eyes, the breath of grace in your words, and the nearness of my presence in every act. Remember, my child, light does not shine to glorify itself. It shines to guide the lost. So I will cause my glory to blaze through you, not that you may be praised, but that others may find the way home. You will be as a lamp in my hand, not one displayed in palaces, but one set in the darkest corners to lead the wandering back to safety. For light does not fear darkness. It exists to conquer it. In this season of glory, I will place you in spaces you never thought you belonged. You will be invited to tables you did not seek, walk through doors you did not knock upon. Not because of reputation, but because I desire my name to be revealed. People will seek your counsel, though you never claim to have answers. They will sense something in you, a stillness. The world cannot purchase a wisdom. No man can teach a presence that awakens their own soul. This is how my glory spreads, not by thunder, but by breath. Not by display, but by authenticity. When you are faithful in small things, I will magnify your influence in greater things. When you guard purity in temptation, you will mirror my faithfulness. When you choose love in a world that breeds hatred, your love will become a gate through which heaven enters many hearts. Do not think that spreading requires distance. Sometimes glory expands from a single room, a quiet prayer, a gentle conversation. A single word spoken in love can alter the course of a life. A life transformed can ignite nations. Like leaven hidden in dough, my glory will work its way through hearts, generations, and lands, beginning where you stand. My child, this is the season of spiritual influence, not the influence of fame, but of presence. Not prominence in the eyes of man, but fragrance in the unseen realm. Every step you take will shift the air. Every word you speak will stir the heavens. Every prayer you breathe will thin the veil between heaven and earth. For when my glory rests upon you, you do not merely live, you create life. I will make the blessing within you a light upon a hill that cannot be hidden. People will come, not out of curiosity, but thirst. They will not ask, "Who are you?" but "Who is the one within you?" Then you will understand why I allowed the pain, the silence, the loneliness, so that your voice would carry authority in the Spirit. For only those who have been broken in my hands can shine with my light. Do not be alarmed when this glory draws attention. Light attracts both seekers and adversaries. Yet fear not, I am the wall of fire around you. Those who approach harm will be halted by my radiance. No power can touch you while you dwell within the bounds of my presence. Shine and do not shrink back, for I am your shield and your glory. Know this: true glory is not human brilliance, but divine reflection. You do not need to try harder to shine, you need only to stay closer to me. The distance between you and the source determines the brightness of your light. Seek me, and I will increase your radiance. Walk in obedience, and your light will travel far without ever fading. In this season, I will mark you as one who bears heaven's imprint upon a temporary world. You will speak the language of grace, move with the rhythm of love, and carry the weight of eternity. Many will not understand you, yet they will feel peace around you. They may not name it, but their spirits will whisper, "God is here." Your life will become a song of testimony. Those who doubted will stand silent in awe. Those who mocked will be hushed by the fruit of grace. Those who turned away will return, asking about the source of life within you. But be humble, my child. This is not revenge. This is redemption. The purpose of glory is not retribution, but restoration. When you show mercy instead of bitterness, I will be exalted. Glory spreads not through perfection, but through truth. When you cry and still believe, when you hurt and still love, when you don't understand and still obey, these are the moments that make heaven blaze with color, for they reveal that my light is stronger than the world's darkness. This season of spreading glory is also the season of shared harvest. The seeds you've sown will join with those planted by others I have chosen, forming a vast field of blessing. No one will say I reaped alone, for this glory belongs to a community of light souls who breathe my breath, mirror my nature, and carry my fire. And hear me, beloved, this glory will not fade. It will reach beyond you, beyond borders, beyond time. It will become a spiritual legacy, a trail of light that darkness cannot erase. When your feet leave the earth, your light will remain. When your words fall silent, their echo will endure. When your breath ceases, your life will still give life to others. For what is born of light can never die, my beloved child. Your journey has reached a realm that time cannot measure. You have passed through trials, crossed the long night, learned to believe without sight, to love without return, to stand when all else fell. Now I declare everything I began in you is fulfilled, not in the way you expected, but in the way heaven designed from the beginning. Pause and feel it. No more noise of battle, no more burden of fear, no more distance between us. My presence now wraps around you like the first breath of creation, like morning light kissing a new bloom. You no longer need to search for me, for you are in me and I am in you. We are one. The temporary has dissolved. Only the eternal remains love. My child, the years behind you were never wasted. They were the golden threads that wove the garment of glory you now wear. Every scar gleams like a jewel, bearing witness that I have touched and healed you. Every tear that once fell has turned into a beam of light, adorning your crown. Each time you whispered yes through pain, an angel recorded it in the chronicles of eternity. And now heaven itself rejoices, for a soul has finished its race, not by its own strength, but by the power of the one who loves you. Look around you, child. You are no longer dust adrift in the wind, but part of the eternal tapestry. You are the result of a design written before the foundations of the world. When I said, "Let there be light," I saw you within that light. When I hung the stars, I inscribed your name among them. When I formed time itself, I marked the season in which you would rise, so that my glory might be revealed through your life. Do not mistake endings for separation. In my kingdom, endings are transformations. Just as a seed must break to sprout, you too were broken, so that true life could emerge. Just as the sun must set for the night to reveal its stars, you learned to rest that your inner light might burn brighter. Every rhythm I placed in the cosmos mirrors your own journey, from sowing to rising, from reaping to giving, from giving to dissolving into eternity. Now I call you not only child, but friend. For you no longer fear me, you understand me. You no longer pray merely to be heard, you speak as one who knows the Father's heart. You have learned that love needs no promise, for love itself is the promise. You have seen that peace does not come from calm surroundings, but from knowing I am near. And you now understand that life is not a series of days, but a single heartbeat, the pulse of eternity within your soul. This is the hour of union. All that once seemed divided, body and spirit, sorrow and joy, earth and heaven, now merges into perfect wholeness. You have journeyed only to return to where you have always belonged. Not a place, but a state. The state of unity, of light, of boundless peace. Here there are no more questions, only answers, no more tears, only laughter, no more thirst, for you have entered the living spring. Know, my child, that none of your suffering was in vain. Every pain was soil, every loss was rain, every trial was sunlight, all nourishing this season of bloom. Now I see you as a tree of life, roots deep in my love branches, stretching toward heaven leaves, giving shade to others and fruit that brings healing to the nations. Listen, there is no longer the sound of sighing, only the song of worship, earth, sky, and sea. Join in the eternal chorus. He who sits upon the throne is faithful. Every word I have spoken has come to pass. Every promise I have made is fulfilled. Every seed you planted has been harvested in light. And now I speak to you, as I once spoke to the faithful, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with little. Now enter into the joy of your Lord. Do not fear eternity. It is not a foreign place, it is the homeland of your soul. Every longing, every ache within you was the echo of this home. All that you sought in the world, love, safety, belonging, were whispers of the truth that you are mine. And now you have come home. No more running, no more striving, no more wondering if you are enough. You are enough because I am enough in you. The light within you will never go out. Even when you no longer wear this form, your spirit will shine in heaven's memory. You will become a note in the eternal song, a ray in the ocean of light, a heartbeat within my own heart. And forever you shall live, not as one who merely exists, but as living praise. I know you once feared endings, but hear this in me, there are no endings, only transformation. Like the river that meets the sea, you do not disappear. You return to your source. Then you will see that I never left you, not in your loneliness, not in your pain. I was there in every heartbeat, in every breath, in every whisper of wind that touched your soul. And now I speak this final word, rest in my glory. There are no burdens left to carry, no debts left to pay. You have done your part, now I will do mine. I will bring you into the place of rest, where peace is not a feeling but your very being. There you will no longer plead, you will sing. You will no longer weep, you will laugh in light. Time will fade, and only eternity will remain, where you and I are no longer two but one. Before you rest, remember this eternal truth to be carried in your heart in the generations after you. In every soul your light has touched, you have not lived in vain. You have not believed in vain. You have not loved in vain. Everything you did in me has eternal worth. Lift up your head, my child. The darkness has passed, the light has come. All I promised is fulfilled. Every tear you shed has become a pearl in your crown of triumph. Now rest, my faithful one. Let me hold you close in the place where there is no parting, only the everlasting light of the one who never fades. For I, the Lord your God, have spoken, and it is done. Thank you for listening to today's message. If this word has touched your heart, remember to subscribe and activate the bell icon so together we may continue to receive the living word, build steadfast faith, and walk daily in the boundless love of God. Amen.